It's crazy. I'm like, I don't know how I'm related to any of these people, but yeah. Let's try to get him on the pod.
Let's
I don't
see
know.
If it's available.
Meagan!
Oh, shit. God damn it. Sorry. Don't tell anyone I said that.
Don't tell Jenny Jones.
Don't tell Jenny Jones from America, United States of America. Well, who knows what his name is? His name could be anything. Welcome to Text Me Back Podcast, the only podcast from the United States of America.
You'll find out what that means in about an hour. Meagan, here we are.
Here we are.
It's the morning and we're tired.
Refreshed
and
well rested.
I'm doing great. Meagan,
folks,
if I don't watch too much of Drag Race, but I have watched like 1.5 seasons.
Sure.
Is it appropriative if I use the phrase diva down in my book?
You could say diva down. I don't think that originated with Drag Race.
Oh, I don't either. But I mean, Drag Race would be the most, the easiest sort of populist entry into the world of divas.
I think diva down. Well, look, as a queer elder, I think it is expressive of your community.
Yeah.
And so, if you want to talk about a diva that went down, I think that's important.
It's because there's this part where a roll of paper towels falls out of the back of my van.
Out of
Is it okay if I say diva down?
Yeah, 1,000%. I think if you don't say diva down, it's a betrayal to the queer community.
That's
actually,
right. That's right.
Look, here we are. We just did a week of freaking live streams, which on the one hand were so great because we got to like interact with you guys live, and in a weird way they were kind of easier than doing a pre-planned show.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, I've never been more sleepy in my life. I had a big plan to catch up on because. So as you all know, famously, Lindy's based on the West Coast. I'm based on the East Coast. And so we were trying to find like a happy medium of like what time these things should start. Obviously, it can't be too early because, you all have jobs, presumably.
Yeah.
That's what they claim.
Yeah.
They claim.
Yeah.
Hardworking Text Me Back lights. But, it can't be too late because I'm 1,000 years old. So we landed on 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And it turns out that is pretty late for me, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Diva down.
Diva down. And many are saying diva down. And the thing is, we finished, and where we are in space and time, we finished these live streams 4 days ago, and diva is still down.
Yeah. Meagan really got a raw deal. I also am tired, but not like that. But here's the thing about a week of live streams. Let me just break this down for you.
You gotta break it down just a little bit more. Break it right on down. Sorry, go ahead.
Here's the thing about a week of live streams. Let me break it down for you. That means Monday, live stream. Tuesday, live stream.
Yes.
Round the corner into Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. And this is important.
Baby, you got a live stream.
Oh, yeah. Baby, you got a live stream going.
Thursday?
You'll never guess what happens on Thursday.
Live stream. Oh. It's another live stream.
And surely not Friday.
Oh, Friday. TGIF. Ready to roll into the weekend. No, it's another live stream. It's another live stream.
I was going to say diva up, but no. Diva down.
Nope.
Diva down. So look, we're going to explore the possibility of actually doing more live streams. So stay tuned. Yep. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do for our pledge drive next year. That's right, because we are going to do it again. Uh-oh. Just the thought of our next live stream sent her into slumberland. A loud, exaggerated yawn into the mic. Anyway, we want to do it again, and you want to know why? Because it was objectively a massive success. You all freaking love Text Me Back podcast? Parentheses question mark, parentheses exclamation point. That's crazy. Good for you, though.
You're sick. And I hope that you never get well.
You're sick.
I mean, I've never been loved so much.
That's how we're feeling over here.
And that's us to you guys. You're sick, and we hope you never get well.
Because your
never felt so loved.
Your sickness is pouring mega bucks into the Patreon.
Mega buckaroonies. You know what I should have had already was the, we provided an annual report to the board of the Businesswoman live stream on Friday, but even things have changed just since then. And here's what's freaking popping off on our Patreon. During the week of live streams and in the weekend after we finished the last one, 138 of you upgraded your subscriptions to from either to Freakaconda, which is our highest tier, or to one of the other tiers. It's really unbelievable. And we got 75 new subscribers.
They said it couldn't be done.
They literally did say it couldn't be done. They said you have your conversion rate, like people who listen to the show versus people who support it, is really high. We've never seen numbers like that before. That's what the businessmen were saying. And yet 75 of you joined up, and we're so grateful. There's so much that we want to do with this support, such as meet up in person more often. Lindy and I would love to do more shows like actually in the same room. We're going to look at doing some live shows next year because we didn't do any this year. It was quite sad. Sad.
We want to, you know what we want to do, Megan? You know what we want to do? You know what we want to do, Megan?
It's the road, dude. This ain't no state property. This is private property.
Private property. Hit the road, dude.
We want to hit the road, dude.
We want to get a permission to hit the road, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The day after the live stream, I think a lot of you were like catching up. So even after the pledge drive was done, 27 more of you either upgraded,
I'm obsessed.
upgraded, or joined. And here are your names: Jennifer Stoller, new member; Lauren Mullis, upgrade; Lizzie, upgrade; Kate, upgrade, tote bag; Morgan Boozer, new member; Patricia, new Freakaconda member, tote bag; Bailey, new member, tote bag; Jess, upgrade, tote bag; Katie Parker, new member; Sarah Funk, great name, upgrade, tote bag; Florence Dorazzi, attenzione Florence, a new member, tote bag, don't get pickpocketed out of it; Caitlin Rose, new member; Freakaconda, tote bag; Missy Boyle, upgrade; Morgan, new member, tote bag; freaking Kristen, new member, tote bag; Lindsay, Pacific Northwest is your name, upgrade; Sarah Connors, hello? Okay, upgrade, tote bag. But do you need a tote bag? You can do a lot of pull-ups, girl. I've seen it. I've seen it. Oh, wait, look. Lindsay PNW is back and she upgraded again. Tote bag.
Wow.
Leslie Barnett, new member. Ruthie V, new member. Kiri Adams, upgrade. Australia, I think, mate.
Wow.
Good day.
So good, Megan.
I don't think so. That's not what they're saying. Kelly Cohn, new member, tote bag. Becky Long, new member, tote bag. An invoice that I need to pay our producer, Allie.
Made possible by
you all. Kate Lewis, new member. Holly Salloway, new member. Thank you so much. Literally, with this money, I'm going to go pay our producer, Allie, who brings our dulcet tones to you every week. And we're really excited because we're going to just like sketch out getting you guys season 2 and 3 of the Shrill rewatch, and we're gonna really genuinely start our monthly After Darks just for Patreon subscribers.
We're excited about it, and
so get into it.
I'm going to get the tote bags sent.
Yes. So what we've found out from our
merch fulfillment center.
Yes, our merchman is that they're going to give us a code. So if you're eligible for a tote bag, we're going to get you your code. Might take a little hot minute, but we will send those out as soon as we have it and as soon as the tote bags are printed, and you can walk around your town in style.
Exactly. You let everyone in your town know, everyone on Main Street, USA, know what you stand for, which is more BBLs for BBWs.
So anyway, I feel like we did a bad job of introducing what's about to happen here, but what is about to happen here?
We didn't try at all yet, Meagan.
We haven't even tried, but we're going to give it a shot now, which is this. Last week, we did 5 nights of live shows, as we've established. Each one an hour plus. And if you'd like to watch them, you should. They're all on our YouTube, youtube.com/@text Lindy and Meagan back. Easy to remember. But if you'd rather just click on the link, it's in the show notes. Get into it. And you can watch all 5 nights in their entirety. But for now, angels, Lindy has gone through and just pulled the stuff that she thought was the funniest. It's sort of like when a sitcom did a clip show. We're doing a little text me back clip show.
Yep.
Except just 5 nights and not like over 100 episodes.
One of my favorite bits ever is on the Clerks cartoon. They made a cartoon. They made an animated Clerks show.
I don't know if it holds up, but boy, did I laugh at the time. And I have it on DVD.
They did a classic sitcom clip show, except they did it like at episode 1. And so then they just kept showing clips from earlier in the episode.
The show, I think, only aired for at most 2 seasons, but I think maybe only one.
Only one. But
Great bit.
Boy, did that make me laugh. It's like they get stuck in the walk-in freezer, and then all they can do is sit there and reminisce.
Like what happened earlier that day.
And then they just start showing clips of them walking into the walk-in.
You know, we kind of did that. We did a best of Text Me Back in like December of the first year that we existed.
That's right.
And the show launched in November.
That's right.
And somebody actually left kind of a rude review of it. Like, how could you have a best? If that's your best of, I don't want to hear the rest. I'm fairly certain that was a member of my family who wrote that, but there's no way for me to prove it. Speaking of, thanks also to everyone who left us comments on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I think maybe we should read the funniest one before we launch into the
or should we save it? Should we save it, read it in the outro? Then they have to listen.
We're going to read it in the outro. That's called marketing, baby. Okay, that's called
BBW business.
Business. Okay, get into it. I hope you enjoy our clip show.
And if you like these clips, truly, there was so much funny stuff that I had to leave.
It was so fun. We had a great week with our friends Samantha Irby, Guy Branum, Alice Wetterlund, noted menace Ronald Young Jr., who got a new nickname last week from one of our listeners. He's now officially the Moriarty of Text Me Back podcasts.
That's right.
So get into it. Listen, and then stay tuned for the end for what I think is the funniest and most accurate review of Text Me Back podcast in Text Me Back podcast history. Thank you.
I feel like I've done something wrong.
Oh, are we live? Oh, we did it.
We're live. We did it.
Oh my God.
I've never done anything wrong in my life.
Is he there? Oh, Dan Branum.
Praise the Lord.
He did
Hello.
it. Hello. Welcome to Text Me Back podcast again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. We know you're very busy in Hollywood. Much going on.
I saw that you already guest hosted a podcast today.
Yes. I'm just doing as many podcasts as possible. It's a media blitz.
Wow. I mean, what an honor.
Okay, Guy Branum. Big week for Guy Branum.
Exciting.
Not only are you hosting podcasts, but you're also having drama on airplanes.
Yes. I had an adventuresome time on a Delta flight a week ago Sunday. I am a fat person who was getting on a plane, so I was scared. Yeah. And so I went and, I went to the airport early and was like, do you have any other flights that are less booked? I did all the things that a good fat person does, other than stop being fat. And, but I sat down. Illegal. And it was a middle seat. I had purchased my seat too late, and I haven't worked as much since the strike, so I didn't fly business class. I was in Comfort Plus, and a man came down the aisle, and first he swatted at and then yelled at a lady because she was putting something in an overhead compartment too near where he was sitting, and he didn't think that was okay. And then she told him he was being peak white man, and he called her a Karen. Oh. And then... Yes. And then he took all of that rage and then he sat down and immediately just looked at me. The thing about a fat person on a plane is you're justified being mad at them. Yeah. No one can say that you're in the wrong. And he was like, can you scoot over? And I was like, no, I am in the space that was assigned to me. And then he just elbowed me with as much force as his little old man body was capable of. And then I recorded it, and then I posted it on Instagram.
He left a bruise, right?
Yes, he left a bruise, and I told Delta that he hit me, and then he was Delta Million Miler, and so he had like a text message for an in-charge lady, and the in-charge lady came, and did she deal with it like a situation where I had been hit? Did she ask me, are you okay? Would you like to press charges? Would you like... medical attention? No. She took him aside and discreetly talked to him privately. All that Delta asked me was, will you please delete the video that you have recorded where this man admits that he hit you?
Oh my God.
And why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Because she was concerned about me. She didn't want me to be upset by having that video that reminded me of the bad things that happened to me.
She would hate for you to be re-traumatized.
Okay, well, before we get into the discussion, I'd like to declare this one of our classic segments.
Yes.
Segment Pubes.
That's right. People using bad ethics and systems, or segment pubes. I believe this man is one of our top pubes.
I've not been physically assaulted, but I have been verbally and emotionally assaulted on many planes.
Emotionally assaulted on all.
Yes.
And verbally assaulted on some.
And you say this in your video. Once again, I ask you, what do you want me to do?
Yes.
I have to get from here to there. I guess we could argue about when you buy a plane ticket, are you buying the travel from here to there, or are you buying the physical space? I would also argue it doesn't matter. We don't hit people.
Delta never asked me for my physical dimensions, and we don't have a policy where men in some pay more than women for the travel because we are by and large larger than women. Hey, can I actually tell a story about an American hero?
Yes.
Please.
One time I was flying and I had a business class ticket, but I was flying back from Wilmington, North Carolina, and the little plane that was taking us from Wilmington to Atlanta did not have a business class. So they brought the other business class man and me. And the other business class man was the father of Derek, what's his name, from Dancing with the Stars, Derek and Julianne Hough.
Yeah.
Derek and Julianne Hough's father, a Republican politician from Utah and a high-ranking member of the Mormon Church, sat next to me on a very small plane and was clearly like, it was not great for him that he was next to a fat person, and he was the most profound gentleman the entire time. And I am just waiting for a moment when I can say to Derek or Julianne Hough, your father was nice to me even though I was fat on a plane.
Oh, that's nice.
That's how they get you, the Mormons.
Well, I've always said the nicest thing is when you get on a plane and you're fat, and then an even fatter person comes and gets in your aisle, because it's like, we're just going to spoon our way to Minneapolis.
Oh, yeah. You know what I love is when a thin person gets on and then they lift the armrest. Because
you want to know what happened on the other side of me? A French lady read The Name of the Rose in French the whole goddamn time. And when I, after I was done crying, like apologized to her en français, she was like, dude, you don't have to be the one to apologize. He should be apologizing to you. And it was just when the Delta lady was being an asshole and the dude was being an asshole, like 6 people around me were like, this guy is the problem. He hit him. And then I cried into my eye mask and then I pulled it off. And then I realized that of the people I could see, like 4 of them were watching The Devil Wears Prada. And I was like, this is feminism in action.
Yeah,
like,
this is allyship.
Women and queer people learning we have voices.
I think what pisses me off about it, and this is not some sort of radical opinion or something, but somehow I got into all the Delta subreddits and everyone's always complaining about everything about it. And normally I'm like, yeah, fuck the airlines. Regulate the airlines, you know? But like, there's just been this recent surge of posts about people complaining about having to sit next to a fat person. And they're trying to just like win over the crowd by being like, he crossed over the thing and he was in my seat. Can't anything be done about this? And why don't they just buy 2 seats? And there's always a bunch of level-headed people in the comments being like, hello, I am fat. And I do very often buy 2 seats, actually, because I don't want to touch your stinking ass either. But because the airlines can double book the seat, it looks like just one person bought the seat. So sometimes the fat person will do everything right and buy the 2 seats, and the airline will still overbook it and give that second seat away. And if you want to be mad at someone, be mad at the airlines who shrank the fucking seats down so tiny that not even a straight size ass can fit in it. It's not the fat person's fault. They're cramming us in there like sardines. It's just like, oh, let me just pour my outrage onto the person that's in front of me because the Delta CEO is not here.
Because they're not actually mad.
Of course.
Because it's actually fine. You can sit next to a fat person for 4 hours.
Matter.
It's fine. And you're crowded no matter what. People just love recreationally to have a reason to abuse fat people.
Correct.
And when you showed your bruise on Instagram, Guy, which was a crazy bruise, all I could think about was that part in the movie The Whale where someone makes a joke that if they stabbed Brendan Fraser in the fat suit, it wouldn't hurt him because all of his organs are 6 inches in at least. And there is this idea that like fat people are big globs of trash that feel no pain.
Well, this is an issue for 2 reasons, Lindy. One is the notion that we can't feel pain and that it's not really affecting us in any way. And the other is that I easily could have throttled and choked that man. I could have broken him in 1,000 different ways. Like, he was an old guy with a potbelly who was 5'8". Like so many people in our society right now, I understood that I was under scrutiny and that my rights could be easily taken away.
Yes.
They could throw me off of that plane just for being fat, and I was trying to stay on that plane so I could get back home so I could do my goddamn job the next morning. That's all I was focused on, and I hate that this person is able to like be violent and just assume that there will be no consequences.
Well, yeah.
And then he was right. Yeah. Like he didn't have to face any.
I see videos all over the place where like someone's kind of drunk and then they get thrown off. Because it's just like the pilot can just decide, I don't like this guy.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Physically attacking another passenger does not qualify as criteria to get thrown off.
But the thing is once he said I was fat, no one was talking about the fact that he had hit me.
Right.
They were just rolling into their procedure because they have a procedure for that and they understand. But as you guys were saying, like, there could be procedures in place. It could be that you buy a second ticket and you get to keep it. It could be that, like, they had the capacity to move things around. Like, it is possible to be perfectly fine and no less uncomfortable than anyone else there while having a pretty fat person next to you, but you understand that you are socially, like, it's okay to be aggrieved in that situation.
Yeah. There's just, like, nothing this country loves more than having somebody that they can feel superior to. And it's just like fat people filled that void like so easily.
For my solo show, Be Fruitful, coming to San Francisco, October 20th, Portland, October 23rd, and the fine city of Seattle, October 24th.
Oh.
In it, I was trying to understand better the idea of like the moral panic around fatness. And I really hadn't realized that like, it wasn't solidly until the 90s that the idea of obesity epidemic became real. And then there's this guy, Paul Campos, who is a law professor, and they let law professors publish on things that they should not be allowed to publish
They let them do
about.
whatever.
But he made a really cool argument that I'd never thought about before, that the lightning rod of the 1990s, 2000s fat panic was the morally corrupt and questionable Monica Lewinsky. That Monica Lewinsky, you couldn't talk about her without talking about the fact that she was fat and Jewish, because it was just like, she wants too much. She's morally questionable.
Yeah. As much as this country is demonic and insane, I still just kind of can't believe that happened to you. It's so crazy. What about the woman? Crazy.
What about the woman that he swatted at? What happened with her?
She was further back, and I tried to find her when I got off, but I was looking for the little jacket she was wearing, and I couldn't find her. But while I was waiting to report it to the gate agent, the gay guys who were behind me stopped to be like, here's our phone number. Here's our contact information, because he was threatening to sue me as well. They were like, we witnessed this. We will be here for you.
Oh my God. Sue you?
Well, when I wouldn't delete the video.
That's not... Yes. We're going to 12B6 that right out of court. Failure to state a claim, babe. Come on, son. Wow.
Wait, first of all, the gay guys behind you giving the phone numbers to testify, that's a meet cute, baby. Thing two, do you want to give people who haven't watched your story a little bit of closure about what happened? So the man was not kicked off, nor were you. What did they do?
Yeah.
So they just switched him with another woman, and then they offered that woman miles for having to sit next to a fat person.
Oh my God.
I have already filed a criminal complaint against him, and will be have to figure out. Megan, offline you and I can talk about where I should be looking for a lawyer, because my personal jurisdiction is not as up to date as it used to be.
Well, I mean, as my civil professor used to say, the long arm of the law reaches across state lines. So
all right.
Depending on, but you have to meet to get into federal court, you have to meet the damages minimum, whatever it is. But I would say probably a lawyer. We could talk about, let's connect offline.
We'll connect offline.
This is so exciting. Am I in the Pelican Brief? What is this?
Is this the Rainmaker?
This is not the Pelican Brief, because an interracial kiss is always possible.
Guy and I are going to kiss. Yes. He's going to fly to DC and we are going to kiss, but only Patreon subscribers get to see.
That's right.
This beautiful sort of cross-racial, across-gender, across orientation smooch. And it's going to be sexual. Okay? Press the button that says go live. It's day 3 of 5. Text me back podcast BBLs for BBW's pledge.
That's
drive.
Right.
Night 3, 5 nights live. And here we are at starting out at Mirthful. You want to know why?
Why?
It's Tipsy Back podcast, baby.
That's nice.
There's only one way to get through 5 nights live with my best friend, Lindy West, and that's with a single beveragino. Thank you, wine.
Some of us don't need alcohol to have fun.
So true. And I'm not one of them.
Nope.
We're vamping because we're waiting for our guest.
Earlier, she said she definitely wants to be on for Snake of the Week. I say we got to start Snake of the Week because time is money.
Snake of the Week.
Hang on. Our guest is here.
Oh, just under the wire.
Thank God. Okay, let's let her in. Folks, you know her, you love her. Star of Stage and Screen, Alice Wetterlund.
Hi.
Hi, Alice. We're live. We were just about to start Snake of the Week, but you missed the theme song. So should we play the theme song again?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
1 moment, please.
Snake of the Week.
Okay, now we're in the mood to discuss snakes.
Except now I'm too horny.
I know it's one of the
hazards.
Yeah, one of the hazards of our jingles is that you get really H&B, really hot and bothered. You know?
Okay, so Snake of the Week. We have 3 snakes of the week. The first snake is snake that I met in Florida. So we're at Royal Springs. And also, by the way, many of these springs, they come up out of the ground, out of a cave. Then the water flows out into a river. And so sometimes you can ride the flow out into the river. Then the river is like 20 degrees warmer than the spring water, and it feels like a hot tub.
Oh.
Unbelievable. Now, maybe you're asking yourself, but Lindy, aren't there alligators and snakes? Yeah.
That's the price you pay, baby.
Yes, it is. And I didn't get bit. And the alligators, they don't want to bite you. They're shy.
Yeah.
They're hiding.
They're shy.
They're shy.
So I'm a shark person. So I'm always singing the gospel of how sharks are not actually interested in constantly biting you all the time. Did you know most big sharks they don't have to eat more than once every 3 months. They do, but they don't have to. So sharks aren't constantly looking for a meal all the time.
Are you a believer in that lady that's like, this shark's my best friend?
Yes. I think you might be talking about Ocean of Ocean One Diving, who is a pelagic specialist in Hawaii. I do pronounce it correctly. That kind of white lady. Yeah. And I met her, and there's this woman who looks like Barbie, and she goes into the water, full face of makeup, comes back out, makeup's undisturbed, and she's like a shark scholar, and she founded the pelagic studies at the University of Hawaii, and she just takes people out and shows them all about how sharks are actually gentle, and you don't swim in a cage, you swim on a tow line, and the sharks swim below you, and she tells you all about shark behavior. No one ever gets hurt. In fact, Zac Efron sometimes goes and swims with the sharks and grabs onto one of their fins, and everybody is like, no, Zac Efron, do not do this.
Zac Efron, no.
He's like, I don't know about boundaries.
What day does he usually go?
Yeah, just wondering.
Well, I went there when I was in a movie one time, and I was in a movie, and Zac Efron was in the movie, and he went to the shark place.
But did you go?
I didn't go on the same day as Zac Efron. I went the day before, and then I heard later on from other cast that he was just like grabbing onto fins.
I'm aggrieved at Zac Efron's inability to respect the majesty of the shark.
So you
saw a snake.
That's right. You're swimming in the springs. It's idyllic. It's heaven on earth. But you're kind of just like keeping one eye open for alligators and snakes. There's like a handful of kids at the spring when we're there. They start saying the word snake, and we're like, huh? Like, boy, me especially, huh? And so then I like swim over to where they're pointing. They're pointing at a rock on the land, and they're saying there's a snake in there. It's two little boys who are like maybe 8 years old, like tiny little blonde boys who live in the swamp. I'm going to do an impression of this boy poorly. I was like, oh, is there a snake? And there were 2 boys. One of them did all the talking. They are like Penn and Teller. So I was like, oh, is there a snake? And then this boy, he goes, yeah. He goes, just a little banded water snake. Can't hurt you none. And I was like, oh, okay.
What?
And then he said, I saw a water moccasin. It was this big around. And then he made his hands like the size of a hamburger. And then, and I said, oh my God, that's so scary. He said, no, just don't mess with it. And then he said, I caught an oak snake at my grandma's house. And then the only thing the other kid said the whole time, he said, rat snake. And then the other kid said, oh yeah, they look the same. I caught a rat snake at my grandma's house. And I said, oh, where was it? Under a table. And then that was the whole convo. So that's my first snake of the week. My second snake of the week is somewhere in Australia. Someone ordered a pizza. They opened it up. Snake inside.
Snake. Oh my God. Classic snake.
How much venom do you want on
pizza? Yeah, the headline in my favorite newspaper, The Times of India, was how much venom do you want on your pizza?
A lot. How much you got? How much you got? That's as much as I want.
It's one of those things where you're like, you order a pizza and if it comes in 20 minutes, it's like under 20 minutes you pay for it. But if it's over 20 minutes, it's free or a snake.
Yeah.
You choose.
Honestly, I'd take that deal and I'd hope for snake.
I know. I'd set up obstacles to get to my house.
All right. So far you have little band of water snake, can't hurt you none. You've got pizza snake from Australia. I have brought to the proceedings, greedy Burmese python pukes up an entire deer in Florida as excited scientists look on, quote, beautiful moment. And apparently his snake eyes were bigger than his stomach. Florida might have a new ally in the ongoing fight against the invasive Burmese python scourge. So Mark Sandfoss, senior author of the study and biologist at the U.S. Geological Survey, who I assume has since lost his job since this happened, says, quote, pythons are constantly doing things I never imagined. Mark, I say restore Mark's funding at once. To the scientists' knowledge, this marked the first observation of a free-ranging Burmese python vomiting a deer within the invasive range without direct disturbance from humans. So there could be other times that a Burmese python has puked up an entire deer, but it was because of human intervention. We're not sure.
Guinness, are you listening?
Hello.
I got something for the book.
I got Mark Sandfoss on the line.
Mark Sandfoss talks about snakes the way Trump talks about everything.
So those, Alice, are your nominees. For Snake of the Week.
Obviously, the snake that can't hurt you none is like honorable mention. Yeah. The thing about that snake is that actually is really more the snake appreciator that is the star of that story.
Yeah.
Is the child, the children.
No, I know. It's true.
Stole the show a little bit. And they stole it without meaning to. I do think the pizza snake is a contender because it combines pizza and snake. Mm-hmm. Which is like
two great options. Yeah.
That feels like a combination made in heaven. But I will, you know what? I think I'm going to go with Burmese python because I can't, like, I'm imagining the scientists doing that pose that Quagmire from, what is that show? Is it American Family Guy? Yeah. Quagmire from, he's like, yeah. Like the scientists are like, hey, next to the snake. They're just looking on like, a beautiful moment. Yeah. Like they're just like so. It's actually kind of gross.
There's also a photo of the python with its jaw unhinged eating the deer in the article.
Well, you gotta unhinge the jaw.
We could.
You know what? She's
connect
relatable.
Offline. I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Honestly.
Wow, I can't believe the snake I brought won.
Good job,
amazing. Well, good job for me.
Yay. Happy for you.
I'm so proud of you.
On this day.
Well, you know, I owe everything to the greedy Burmese python who puked up an entire deer. Because, you know, pythons, I don't know if you've heard this, but pythons are constantly doing things I never imagined.
Yeah.
Things you can't even believe.
I know.
The kind this python did stuff that no one's ever heard of it before.
They're saying it's some of the greatest python work that python's ever done.
We're hearing this python's so greedy. He can't get in front of this. You can't believe it.
He called me up. He said, President. He calls me President. He said, President, I'm going to puke up an entire python. Anyway.
You know what?
Those are our three very good Donald Trump impressions.
You know who needed the fat shot drug? That deer.
That deer, yeah. It's good
digested.
that it didn't because, it's still dead.
It didn't survive.
What a phoenix if it had.
Oh,
just rising from that, like, you can't keep me down.
I would have loved to have seen that. That would have been, speaking of beautiful.
Oh, those scientists would have been beside themselves.
Oh my God.
Mark Sandfoss would have passed away. Would you like to pitch or promote anything before you go?
Yes, come to my Twitch streams. I'm streaming on TikTok and on Twitch on Tuesdays, usually Tuesdays and Fridays from 2 p.m. PST on. And so I can be found there all the time. Okay. It's twitch.tv/Alice Wetterlund.
Alice Wetterlund, star of Stage and Screen, comedian, Twitch superstar, and the queen of our hearts. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here.
Angel.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, podcast
Love
over.
you guys.
We love
Bye,
you.
Alice.
Welcome to Text Me Back podcast.
Text me back. Text me back. Text me back, Meagan.
Text me back at once.
Text me back.
Those were the dulcet tones of our Czar of Sound Force, Ahamefle Jeoluo.
Yeah.
Live interstitial music.
All right, it's Text Me Back podcast live. Big round of applause for our Czar of Sound Force, Ahamefle Jeoluo. All right, let's let Ron in.
Here we go. Here he comes. Here comes the menace himself. Hi, Ron. You're live.
Menace, the menace. Menace, the menace. You're live on Text Me Back podcast live.
Oh, I know. I've been watching you live being like, why won't they let me in?
We didn't want you to have to be here for the business, even though you are our podcasting mentor.
Yeah, you are like our business mentor. Yeah.
Not a problem. I was like watching on this screen. I'm like, what exactly is happening over here? Let me in.
And that's the Text Me Back guarantee. What's happening over here?
Obviously.
Yeah. What's happening over here? Welcome, Ron. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We're so excited. You have been recently our listeners' like favorite guest. But you know what they were saying, Ronald? Do you know what they were saying? There was a consensus among our listeners that Ronald Young Jr. is a snack. That's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying.
They were saying, awooga. That's what they were saying.
I don't know if you can see the chat right now, Ronald, but it's popping off.
The ladies are dropping trow for Big Ron Young Jr.
Lower your expectations.
I'm just
is all
saying.
I can say.
Well, that's actually a good segue, I think, into our next segment, which is parentheses sexual.
Well, you forgot about Lindy Explains the Plot of Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, God. Yes,
oh, yeah.
please.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I'll do it so fast. I took notes. I read the Wikipedia page and I took notes. Now, this is of the original novel. And Sir Andrew...
Novel?
There's a novel, a French novel.
Jesus.
Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber changed it a little bit. But I couldn't... Once I'd read through the novel, then I realized that the musical is different. I was like, I'm not reading another version.
Who has the time? Yeah.
There's some little things that are different. Like in the Andrew Lloyd Webber version, the Phantom of the Opera is like... He's a frustrated composer, and so he wants the opera to play his music, which is so funny. I think
Shut up, loser.
Does not exist in the original. Okay, so first of all, the Phantom of the Opera right off the bat does a murder. So he just kills a guy in the opera house. There's a girl named Christina. She's backup soprano to the real soprano, whose name is Carlotta. The Phantom of the Opera. He catfishes Christine, the backup soprano. He gets obsessed with her. He catfishes her. He tells her that his name is the Angel of Music and he's a magic angel. He she believes him, and he tutors her on her music. And she's like, he's helping me with my singing. He's the Angel of Music. Her boyfriend is like, sounds fake, but okay. And then the Phantom of the Opera is like, I'm going to blackmail the opera house into giving me free tickets. Even though I already live there. So, okay. And also making Christine, the #1 soprano, kicking Carlotta to the curb.
And she, at this point, has seen his weird mask and cape and stuff.
He's just sort of like, a voice that like pipes into her dressing room and is like, I'm
gross.
the angel of music, my angel. So, okay. So now he's like, I'm going to put a curse on the opera house if you don't give me free tickets and make Christine the main one. And the opera is like, LOL, good one, good prank. We're not doing that. And so then he indeed does curse the opera house, causing Carlotta to croak like a toad and a chandelier to fall on the audience, killing a second guy.
Damn, bitch.
Yeah, I know. Then he kidnaps Christine. He takes her down to his lair beneath the opera house.
The sewers, as we've discovered.
Yeah. So Meagan had been like, why are they always going around in a gondola? Why is there water under the opera house? As far as I can tell, it's just the sewers. So he's gondoliering them around in a river of dookie.
Of feces. Yeah.
This is his date that he planned. So he kidnaps.
I don't understand. Wait, where are the? I'm so confused. Is this a musical? Right? People like
I guess.
this?
People
that's what they say.
Love it. People.
I don't understand. I'm so lost, and I don't understand what act is this? Is this act one?
This is
or
act one.
Two?
Act one.
This is all act one.
This is all set up. But here's where the big twist happens. Sort of. Phantom of the Opera kidnaps Christine, takes her down to his doo-doo gondola. This is
doo-doo gondola.
That's
Gondoodla.
I tell it like it is.
About gondoodla.
His gondola. Yeah. Now, Meagan, you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. You were like, who's the Phantom of the Opera? Why does he wear a mask? What's the deal? The Phantom of the Opera, according to Wikipedia, is, quote, a deformed man called Eric. Eric. His name's Eric. So
Eric of the Opera.
He has a hideous skull-like face. Unclear why. Never explained. Okay. So he's like, oh, Christine, you know what? I'm so sorry. I was only going to kidnap you for a couple days, but now that you saw my hideous skull-like face, I have to keep you here forever. Sorry.
Well, who cares if she's seen it? What's she going to do?
Well, she's like, that's really not good for me. I have other stuff.
I have a job.
He's like, okay, you know what? You can go, but you need to wear my ring and you need to be faithful to me. And she's like, okay.
Oh.
She leaves, immediately goes back to her boyfriend, and she's like, look, can we get out of here? Eric sucks. Eric, of course, is creeping and peeping. He overhears. Okay. He lures the boyfriend into a hall of mirrors.
Oh, Jesus, not again.
He's like, if Christine doesn't marry me, I'm going to blow up the opera house with everyone in it. You and your mommy and your daddy too.
Go ahead. I will simply tell them not to go in there.
That's not going to work. It's
okay.
So then Christine is like, fine, I'll marry you. Fine.
I'm sorry, are there no police in France?
No.
Yeah, like what?
Talk to about this?
Is there an adult?
Are there any adults?
No.
Hello?
There's only 4 people in France. Carlotta,
okay,
Christine, Rick, and the boyfriend. Carlotta's dead. Okay,
not me being like, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
no, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay, so then listen to this. Christine's like, fine, I'll marry you. Oh my God. And he's like, okay, but you have to promise not to kill yourself after the wedding. She's like, fine. Okay, so then
what a foreshadow,
why
Eric.
Why would you need to say that?
Because he knows she's not down. She's not DTF.
Okay. Now I'm going to quote directly from the Wikipedia because this is an incredible paragraph. And this is the big twist. Okay. This is the big ending. The boyfriend runs away. Eric and Christine are having a moment. He pulls her for a chat. They're in soul ties. Eric reveals he has never kissed anyone, including his own mother, who would run away if he ever tried to kiss her.
Damn! Wow, just like Tucker Carlson.
Christine is so moved by this that they cry together.
Oh, hell no.
She holds his hand and she says, poor unhappy Eric, which reduces him to, quote, a dog ready to die for her.
Oh, Jesus.
So then he's like, you know what? Okay.
Physical dog?
You know what? I don't know. I haven't seen it or read it. It could be literal. He transforms into a dog. Then he's like,
wait, you haven't seen it or read it? How are you explaining us the plot?
Because I read the Wikipedia.
Okay.
About 45 minutes ago. So then he's like, you know what? Never mind. You can go. I'm going to die soon of love anyway. She's like, great. She leaves. She comes back later. He's dead. She gives him the ring back. She buries his corpse in a secret place. She marries her boyfriend.
She had to do all that?
Right? Girl?
She dug a hole. Just dump him in the sewer.
Sounds like he's already buried under the opera house.
Under the opera house.
He's in a cavern. Okay.
It's fine.
Then she goes and marries her boyfriend. And then it says that then the newspaper of France runs a story that just says Eric is dead.
How do they know who Eric is?
I don't know.
Because Eric has been being all pissed off because he thought people were going to know who he was.
Megan?
That doesn't make any sense.
Megan?
And then this is a long-running musical?
So that's not, I guess, how he dies in the musical. In the musical, he maybe escapes. It's like they go to kill him, and then only his mask is there. But I like Eric is dead newspaper headline.
Eric is dead. That is so stupid.
What do you mean?
That's stupid.
It's really a great romance. And I'd like to tell you one more detail, which is that turns out he worked in construction, so that's how he was able to build a lair.
He worked in construction?
That's what it says.
What do you mean worked in construction? People didn't start working in construction until
he worked in construction.
The 80s.
He worked in construction. That's what it says. Okay.
So then people knew he existed at some point.
Megan, now you're asking so people knew he existed at some point.
Eric is dead, they said on the front page.
Eric is dead. I don't know if it made the front page. I think
it could have been on like A12.
I think that I skipped over a little part. I think it's like the boyfriend runs to the newspaper man and he's a snitch. And he's like, guess
Eric
what?
Is dead.
I met a guy in the sewer. His name was Eric. He's dead now.
He's fucked.
Yeah, can you imagine the editor that had to approve this piece going in? He's like,
my God.
This is a slow news day. Yeah, sure, put it in.
The editor said, not Eric.
Yo, Eric.
Eric from the sewer?
Eric.
With the fucking face thing?
Gone delirious?
Oh my God.
Gone
Gondoodle? The guy that redid my garage?
Oh, that's
he works construction? We must inform all of Paris at once.
That's the most surprising part of that story is that he works construction.
That's crazy. Well, shout out to you all who like musicals. That's something interesting. And
my angel. Sing. Okay, now.
By the way, y'all, I don't have a hard stop, so whatever.
Yeah, that's true. We control the time. I mean, is our audience going to log off at 10 p.m. on the dot? Excuse me.
My only fear is that Megan's going to log off.
I am. I'm really tired. I'm straight up disintegrating, you guys. I haven't.
You
been
look great,
enough.
Megan.
I put makeup on because I look like a ghost. Earlier today, I took a nap after I did all my work, and then I got up to go to the bathroom. I took one look at myself in the mirror and said, "Ha!" I said, "Oh Lord, I'm Eric. I'm Eric from the sewers." I was like, "Man, 5 nights of live streams fucked this 40-year-old."
Tomorrow night you should wear your mask.
I should fine. Well, maybe I should take my mask off. I don't want to say goodbye to you, Ronald, but would you like to tell the people where they can find you?
Yeah, what do you want to plug?
So
the best place to find me is on Instagram and Threads at It's Big Ron. That's at OHITSBIGRON. That's where I talk about all the stuff that I'm doing. That's where you can find me. But also, I'm doing a live show that I'm working on right now. It is about my love life. It's coming out in February 21st. It's going to be live at the Miracle Theater here in Washington, D.C. If you can make it, you should come.
I'll be there.
If you're in the area, you should come. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to feel like a podcast episode. You're going to be sitting there and I'll be there in the moment. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, follow me on Instagram and Threads. Amazing. At It's Big Ron.
Ron, also before you go, we've been asking all our guests this, but why do you think it's so important to support independent podcasts such as Text Me Back podcasts?
Okay, so I think right now, like dead serious, if you look at what happened with Jimmy Kimmel, with Stephen Colbert, if you look at what's happening with PBS, with NPR, like right now, there is a shift happening underneath our feet when it comes to media. You should be more often than not putting all of your money into independent media sources, because the more that we can bolster them, the more chance that we have of having moderate and objective news and media sources in the future. I know a lot of people are talking about whether it's left-leaning, right-leaning, all of that. I want to be honest with you. I don't care if you're paying for Ben Shapiro. I really don't care. The point is you should not be paying for billionaires to own conglomerates. Yeah. And a place like Text Me Back is good ground. They make you laugh. They are very funny. They're incredibly smart. I love y'all so much. If you're going to be paying for Disney Plus, who is going to cancel someone like Jimmy Kimmel due to pressure from the FCC and the president, why not just take that same money and give it to Meagan and Lindy, who are actually bringing you joy? That's where you should be putting all of your money right now. It's time.
I'm going to have to agree with Big Rod on this one. I think you should support Text Me Back Podcast, patreon.com/Text Me Back Pod.
At the beginning of the show, I wasn't so sure about Text Me Back Podcast, but Ron has convinced me.
I was aggrieved about Text Me Back Podcast, but now I'm overjoyed about it, and I would like to support her. Also, at this business meeting on the agenda is to add a few things to the lore.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got 2 spectacular lore drops.
Yeah. Okay. This is not anything, but isn't that the promise of Text Me Back Podcast? Is that it's not really anything?
Oh, it's not anything. I think about this every day. It's one of my, it's simple yet elegant. It's so funny.
So I think, as our listeners know, I was a real piece of shit in high school. I was just like a real little dickhead back then. I was like littering and stuff. Whatever, it's fine. Who cares? So I had the type of parents that were like, oh, you can't just sit around all day. You have to play a sport. And I was like, why? Who cares? Who gives a shit? So then I got sucked into soccer. I was playing soccer for a long time. And I played for a girls team that through my community center called the Queen Anne Swifts. Shout out to them. We were very bad. And I was really aggro. Like I was always just like fighting girls on the pitch.
Good.
And but this one minivan full of girls from Shoreline once flipped me off in front of my whole family and called me a bitch. And I was like, it was my dad. You know what I mean?
I remember.
I'm not saying I didn't deserve it. I'm just saying it's a weird thing to do in front of your parents and mine,
I remember playing basketball, like rec center basketball. And
yes, I did that as well.
There would be, once a year you'd play the same teams,
Yeah.
And then there would be these days where you're like, oh God, we're playing that mean team.
That was me. Anyway, so then I played in high school and I was really bad. And so I played on JV, and our school was so poor back then that they didn't have enough uniforms for everybody. So we had like duplicate numbers. So we had to use like medical tape to turn numbers into other numbers. So there's like 2 number 3s. So somebody had to become 13 using like medical tape. And then we would go play teams on the east side, and they're like castles. And we played this one team. I think it was Lake Washington. I can't remember. But their colors were also purple and white. So Garfield's colors are purple and white. And Lake Washington's colors were also purple and white. And we showed up we had just the one jersey. It was just purple. And we showed up and they were also wearing purple. And they were like, how come you're not wearing your away jerseys? And we were like, our what? Like literally, what the fuck are you talking about? So they all had to run into their locker room, which again, what? What do you mean?
Sounds fake.
And then they had to change into their away jerseys so that we could play, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to play purple on purple or whatever. Anyway. And my coach was this guy named Brian. I don't remember anything about him. I remember he was bald and he wore really round glasses. And like, I'm not good at sports. Like, I like watching them. Go Mariners, by the way, but I don't want to play. And I'm especially bad at running. Like, ever since I was a child, like, I can't run without all of my internal organs feeling like they're going to explode. Does anyone else have that? So I really hate it. So I always play defense because you don't have to run as much. At least I didn't have to run as much. So anyway, so at practice, Brian would make us do daisy chains. You guys know what those are? Where like you'd run in a single file line and then someone would run from the back, like sprint from the back to the front. And then the person in the front would pace. And then you would just do that all the way around the field. And I was so bad at it. I was so slow. And he kept being like, pick up the pace, Meagan. And he was like, just being mean to me or whatever. And I was like, can I be honest? Like, who cares? It's like JV Seattle public school soccer. Who gives a shit? This doesn't matter to anyone. I don't even think Brian got paid. And it's like we all have to share one jersey.
He got paid in his favorite currency, getting to yell at teenage girls.
It's like we all have to share one jersey, and I had to buy my own shorts. Lake Washington didn't have to buy their own shorts. Those were provided by the JV Booster Club or whatever. Anyway, so I just got sick of it. And, I don't really, even as a teenager, I was like, I don't have to listen to you just because you're an adult. Like, and probably, by the way, in retrospect, this man was probably 29 at the absolute oldest. So it's like, you're not a real person to me. And I was like, I don't have to listen to this,
Uh-huh. Yep.
So I just was like, man, I'm doing my best. And he's like, don't talk back to me. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, fuck you. Like, who cares? We're 15 years old. You're not getting paid and there's only one shirt. Why are you making me run? Like, why are you making me run all around like some sort of fucking idiot? Nothing is gonna happen. Even if we're good, nothing is gonna occur at this event. Okay. Anyway, so I'm just like jawing back at him and he's jawing at me. And then of course, adults don't like it when teens jaw them. Yeah. And as an adult now, I don't really like it either, but I deserve it.
Yeah.
But also here's the thing. Teenagers are people. Okay. And they're like allowed to have feelings about their treatment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Anyway, so I let him have it. I was like, man, shut the fuck up. And he did not like that. So then he made me run sprints up and down the field.
He made you run lines.
He made me run lines. And I did it so slow. I did it so fucking slow. I was like, you're not the boss of me. I'm only doing this because if I get kicked off this team, they're going to make me take PE. If you played soccer, you didn't have to take PE. You could get a PE waiver.
Right.
So I technically did him, but I did him like a bitch. Okay. And then at the end, I never got to play. He hated, because I wasn't any good at it, but also he hated me. So even if I was good, he would have never let me play because of my bad attitude, Anyway, so I was always on the sideline just going, woohoo! Go Bulldogs! GHS! I was like a little JV cheerleader on the sideline. And so at the end of the season, we did like awards, like Spirit Awards, and it was like most valuable player on the JV team, most this, most that. And I won an award from my fellow teammates. I won an award called Most Inspirational because of how nice and pleasant I was on the sidelines to my peers, not to Brian, but to my peers, okay? And Brian was so annoyed that he had to get me and they came with trophies. Everybody got a little trophy for the award that they won. He went and got me a trophy. And I think they charged by the letter on the plaque. So it just said, Meagan, most insp. Thanks, Brian. And I wear that as a badge of honor, most insp. Period. He paid for the period. Most insp. Period.
Most insp is so funny because okay, so there's, someone won most improved and he didn't write most imp, This is not a space issue. He shortened it on purpose. He said most insp.
Get me.
Get your ass.
Just to get my ass. And he fucking did. It actually did piss me off because I was like, I don't win anything ever. Yeah. And I definitely don't give a shit about this at all. And yet my teammates felt inspired by my contribution, which was...
Woo! Okay, they might have felt inspired by you standing up to Brian.
By the way, if you were on that team, I don't remember who else was on it, but if you were on that team and you remember Brian, will you let me know if I misremember? Was he nice and I was just a bitch, or was he actually a dickhead? I remember him being a dickhead. I remember him being an adult with a power trip, but I also, to be fair, I perceived all adults as having power trips when I was 15, and I treated everyone like a dick. Anyway, is this the most interesting episode of Text Me Back podcast you guys have ever heard? Let us know in the comments.
They're loving it.
Shall we enter the next thing into the final lore? And then we can adjourn our business meeting.
Okay, this is a lore drop that we've been sitting on for the full 2 years.
I mean, I think that you and I have been sitting on it for this, because this happened in 2012. Was this 20? Oh yeah, 2012. Yeah,
2012. In the year 2012, the funniest thing ever happened in Norway at the Nitun-Høyfjellstue, where we were having...
I forgot that's what it was called.
Yeah.
Yes, go on.
We were at the Nitun-Høyfjellstue, and we were having a family reunion of my family. We do this every 5 years. So we alternate Norway, United States, Norway, United States. So 2012, it was in Norway at a really cute little mountain lodge called Nitun-Høyfjellstue.
Nitun-Høyfjellstue.
Yeah. And we had just the best time. We're all partying our asses off the first night. We're all taking shots at the homemade akavit. We're partying. We're all of us sharing a $47 beer once a piece. And we're just having the time of our lives. Eventually we spill out into the open air in the mountains at Nitun-Høyfjellstue. And an unnamed relative who I don't want to name because
we just haven't asked his permission, although I don't think that he would care. But this relative, when we first met him, was in 2002 when he was a kid. Okay. Yeah. And I remember thinking at the time, it's going to be so funny. Next time we see him, he's going to be fluent in English, and I don't remember what happened in 2007 was
North Dakota.
We don't have time to get into the pizza cruise. We'll have to talk about that another time.
I don't think all the Norwegians came to the North Dakota reunion.
This was the first time we had really engaged and seen this relative since they were 10 or something. And now this gentleman was an adult.
Yeah.
And fluent in English.
Yes.
So we could talk to him.
We're all partying, having a great time, laughing. And then of course, when you're in Europe, especially in 2012, now, of course, everything in the world is even darker, but people want to talk about America, and they want to practice their English, and they want you to kind of tell them what America's like. And
I'm like, hell yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so one of my unnamed relatives who was previously a boy and had become a young man told us that he had an American friend.
This person is also a competitive horse.
Don't give the details.
Who is going to Google Norwegian horse competition? Well, now they all are because I said that, but you'll never figure out who it is. But anyways, they met through horses.
No, you're right. He had a colleague in his horse studio who was from America. Yeah. And they were both doing horses in Holland, in the Netherlands somewhere, at some sort of horse professional horse stable business.
Yeah.
Yes. And he was like, yes, I have this American friend. Proceeded to do the funniest impression that anyone, not just us, anyone on earth has ever heard.
Of anyone. It's the best impression of anyone has ever done of anyone. You understand?
And I don't even know how this happened. Somehow we got it on tape.
Aham recorded it and I don't know how he had the foresight. Should we play it?
So we were treated to this impression of my unnamed, unspecified Norwegian relative's friend from America.
Sorry. I'm Jenny Jones from America. I'm from the United States of America. I would just like to tell you, I have a dog in Holland. It's called Coco. And he has Dutch papers and everything. So you can just send him back over to me in Florida. I'll be there.
Who wants to hear it again? I do.
Sorry. I'm Jenny Jones from America. I'm from the United States of America. I would just like to tell you, I have a dog in Holland. It's called Coco. And he has Dutch papers and everything. So you can just send him back over to me in Florida.
Florida. Anyway, our dumbasses have been saying Dutch papers and everything for fucking 13 years.
A dog in Holland is called Coco.
He has Dutch papers and everything. It's basically the backstory of Jenny Jones, if I recall correctly, was that she overstayed her visa in Holland. And then I think she was trying to travel to a horse competition in England or something. And she got turned away at Heathrow because she'd overstayed. But her dog was still, Coco, was still in Amsterdam. Yeah. So she was trying to get her horse friends to ship Coco to Florida.
Look, a very stressful
Dutch papers and everything.
Very stressful situation for Jenna Jones.
And Coco.
You're back in Florida. Coco is still in Amsterdam.
Not to mention the horse, you know? Who knows what happened to the horse?
I feel for Jenna Jones.
I'm from America? I'm sorry, you're talking about Jenny Jones from America? The United States of America? She has a dog named Coco? That's papers on everything?
Literally, here's how twisted my mind is. I don't want Jenny Jones to hear this and have her feelings hurt.
Jenny, don't be sad. It's the funniest thing that's ever happened.
It was said with love and it was not derogatory. So, yeah, that's Jenny Jones from America.
The United States of America.
I've been wanting to play that on the podcast since day one.
Yeah. We'll try to get the person's permission and then we can tell you more about him because
he's incredible.
I might get emotional just talking about him. He's just the best. He's just like the nicest, sweetest, and his sister. And they just grew up to be like just the finest little freaky wonders I've ever met in my life. I love them so much.
They're so beautiful.
It's unbelievable how hot all of Lindy's family is. It's crazy, actually.
I'm like, the DNA? The DNA that I have?
Our shared genome?
The DNA from the sewer?
From the gondola? That Eric brought?
It's crazy. I'm like, I don't know how I'm related to any of these people, but yeah. Let's try to get him on the pod.
I don't know. If it's available.
Meagan!
Oh, shit. Sorry. Don't tell anyone I said that.
Don't tell Jenny Jones.
Don't tell Jenny Jones from America, United States of America.
We had some
Lindy.
times, didn't we, Meagan?
Boy, first we walked into the walk-in. And then Jay and Silent Bob walked into the walk-in.
Yep.
These are good memories, man.
And then a dog knocked over a broom that fell upon the latch and locked us in here to die.
And that's Text Me Back podcast, baby. You know? Well, we're going to go now. But first, I'd like to read this incredibly significant text.
Really quick before you do that, can I say that we set a nasty little stretch goal I put it in the newsletter that we would like to, we were at 589 or something reviews on Apple. And we were like, can we make it to 600? Hello? Guess how many we have now, Meagan.
You'll never guess.
Meagan, we're at 625.
Boom. Roasted anybody who said it would be less than that.
Yeah. And they were saying it, a couple of you.
Many have been questioning the success of Text Me Back podcast, myself included, and perhaps most of all. but they're saying it's a beloved podcast supported by millions.
Meagan, okay, the fact that all of our podcasting mentors, parentheses, Luke and Andrew, said that we should not bother trying to convert any more listeners into Patreon subscribers because our numbies were already too high. That's what they said.
Yeah.
They said we had unprecedented numbies.
They said our numbies couldn't be measured by numbies because it was so high. Yeah.
They said we'd have to invent new numbies.
And we don't have time for that.
And then we converted 75 of you without even trying, because our focus, as we were told by our mentors, should be on upgrades. And yet you couldn't stop converting.
I tried. I was trying to do a bad job to get you to stop. But you wouldn't.
You wouldn't stop. It makes me wonder, is this the best podcast of all time?
Is it? Like, what's going on around here? Hello?
Hello?
Papa?
Are you my papa?
I do think our listeners might be our papas.
Yeah. They're our sugar papas. That's
By the way, somebody in the Discord, I'll ask them if we can use it, but somebody in the Discord made a collage of all my faces when you were reading the wiki plot summary of Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
And it's important.
It's important.
It's really an important historical document that I think we should share with everyone. The other thing I want to say is I'm not going to apologize, but I didn't realize that there would be so many strong feelings about Phantom of the Opera in our audience. Maybe I shouldn't have been surprised by that, but you guys did not like it when we said it was enemies to lovers. You did not like that. And you didn't like it when we suggested that Eric from the sewers from France is an incel, which
they did.
I think they didn't like that. And I was like, but he is.
That's the whole plot.
Or maybe he's a vol cell. I mean, I don't know.
No,
but he's a cell for sure.
He has a hideous skull-like face that has relegated him to the sewers.
He lives in feces. Like what? Who's getting into that?
He called in a bomb threat to get a soprano to pay attention to him.
Hello? Doesn't sound like somebody who's getting it on the regular, in my opinion. Anyways, so I'm not going to apologize, but I respect that there are some differing opinions about Phantom of the Opera. Poot? No. Poto.
They started to say in the Discord, "Oh, I was a huge Poto head," and I was like,
"What is that?
What is that?"
What's Poto, Precious?
We were actively talking about it, and I couldn't put it together.
I was like, I don't know her. Okay, anyways, Speaking of important historical documents, this is the best review we've ever gotten on our podcast. And I've already been in touch with the National Archives, and they will be preserving it there next to the President's Book of Secrets. And it goes a little something like this. The title is, "I'm so confused." 5 stars. I don't know what this podcast is or how I found it, but it's deeply hilarious to me. Apparently, this is a BBW podcast with recurring segments on voles and snakes. Also, the podcasters describe what they're doing in extreme detail. If there's a prop, they will talk for 15 minutes about how they made the prop. The prop will never just be there. I think there's a pleasure in listening to smart people say the dumbest things that come into their head. I feel insane. Again, 5-star review for Text Me Back podcast. And I thank you.
Who are you?
Who are you?
My angel.
My angel. I'll say it for this person, okay? This thing I hate, I'll say to you. That's the funniest thing I've ever read. I've laughed and laughed and laughed. Yeah. I read it out loud to my husband. I screen grabbed it and sent it to Lindy and Allie. I was like, this is important. I need you to see this. How did you find our podcast?
I'm so curious.
Where did you come from?
Who
obsessed.
Are you?
I'm obsessed.
Eric?
They're using Eric.
Is that you?
Do you by the way, do you happen to do construction in Paris, France? Hello. Anyway, get in. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to go now. We're trying really hard to be energetic, but it's hard.
We're both going back to sleep in 30 seconds. We probably already groveled enough and you're bored of it, but thank you so much.
Yeah, seriously. It really, really means a lot. Like, even if we had converted 2 people and got 2 upgrades or whatever, I think we would have felt really happy. We really just wanted the week to be fun and have a good time, and we did, and I think you guys did, and it just really means a lot that you care enough about our show to support it in any way that you do, whether it's like financially or some other way, because truly, life stinks so much. PU. And so it's really nice to have like a little community of non-stinkers. So thank you.
We can cut this out, because maybe you're not supposed to say this, and we've been shy and coy about it. But I don't know if you guys know, Megan and I do not draw a paycheck from podcast.
We certainly don't. We certainly don't.
Every once in a while, we'll sort of nominally pay ourselves so that we feel like
to like decelerate the rate of burnout, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like truly all the money goes back in at this point.
Yes.
And
yes,
so your support gets us closer to being able to do this in a way that is long-term sustainable without us crashing, burning.
Yeah, that involves
and going to hell.
Planning stuff out. And there's so much more that we want to do. We're always having, especially Lindy, is always having some crazy idea, parentheses complimentary, about what she wants to do with the show and like on the show.
Waterproof microphone live from the lazy river.
Live from the manatee's tail. No touching. No touching. Think about it.
Think about it.
Think about it.
So yeah,
anyway,
thank you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week. I think it's just going to be us 2 jabronis once again.
We love you.
Bye. By the way, when you were like, we can cut this out if we shouldn't say this, I was like, oh, here comes the Charlie Kirk monologue. Oh, Lord. But then it was really nice. Anyway, bye. Mwah.
Text me back. 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 At once. Text me back.
I earned my degree online at Arizona State University. I chose to get my degree at ASU because I knew that I'd get a quality education, they were recognized for excellence, and that I would be prepared for the workforce upon graduating. To be associated with ASU, both as a student and alum, it makes me extremely proud, and having experienced the program, I know now that I'm set up for success. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.